Hello and welcome to the 5th grade Herrin Advisory Poetry Grade. For the past month or so, we've been studying poems. Today, we have used our knowledge to turn them into little plays. And here they are. First up is Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. This is about the pain he suffers through seeing his father dying. Today it will be performed by
Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at the close of day.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men know it therein, dark is right. Because their words fork no lightning, they
Do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last way by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay.
rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men, who caught and sang the sun in flight, but learned too late they grieved it on its way.
Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
And you, my father, there on the sad height,
Curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray.
do not go gentle into that good night.
Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Next up is Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This famous poem by Robert Frost is about how we should stop and smell the roses and never give up. It was written one morning when he saw the sun come up after staying up all night. Today it will be performed by
Whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow.
My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year.
He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake.
The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake,
The woods are lovely,
dark and deep,
but I have promises to keep.
and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
King Henry V is a classic Shakespeare written in 1799. It is about how the English king motivates his troops that are surrounded and hopeless to win the battle. Today the players are
Once more into the breach, dear friends. Once more, we'll close the wall up with our English dead. In peace there's nothing, so becomes a man, as modest, stillness, and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of a tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood.
Disguise fair nature with hard favored rage.
Then lend the eye a terrible aspect.
I see you stand, like greyhounds in the slips, straining upon the start.
The game's afoot. Follow your spirit.
And upon this charge cry, God for Herrin, England and
The Donkey is Next is an early 20th century poem by Gilbert Keith Chesterton. It is narrated by a donkey who played an important role in the crucifixion of Jesus. See if you can figure it out. Today, it will be played by
When fishes flew and forests walked and figs grew upon thorn,
Some moment when the moon was blood, then surely,
I was born.
with monstrous head and sickening cry, "Yeehaw!"
And ears like errant wings,
the
the
devil's walking parody
on all four-footed things. The tattered outlaw of the earth.
of ancient crooked will, starve, scourge, deride me. I am dumb. I keep my secret still.
Fools!
For I had also had my hour.
One far fierce hour and sweet.
There was a shout about my ear.
Huzzah!
Praise in the name of the Lord!
And palms before my feet.
My Flight is about the wonderful feeling of flying a fighter plane. It was written by John Gillespie McGee, a World War II fighter pilot. It is on the back of a letter to his mother. He died soon after a fighter plane accident. Today it will be performed
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth.
And dance the skies on laughter's silvered wings.
Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds.
And dance the skies on laughter's silvered wings.
Wielded sword and swung, high in the sunlit silence.
Hovering there, I chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air.
Up, up, the long, delirious, burning blue. I've topped the wood-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew.
And while with silence, liberty mind I've trod, the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put my hand out
And touched the face of God.
Opportunity by Edward Still is a battle poem about how it's not the tool, but how you use it. Today it will be our finales, so without further ado, an opportunity.
This I beheld, or dreamed it in a dream.
A cloud of dust spread along a plain, and underneath the cloud, or in it, raged a furious battle. And men yelled, and swords chalked upon swords and shields.
A prince's banner wavered, then staggered backward, hemmed by foes.
A craven hung along the battle's edge, and thought, had I a sword of keener steel, but that blue blade that the king's son bears. But this blunt thing he snapped and flung it from his hand, and lowering, crept away from the field.
Then came the king's son, wounded, sore bestead, and weaponless saw the broken sword, hilt buried in the dry and trodden sand.
And he ran and snatched it, and with battle shout lifted afresh, he hewed his enemy down, and saved a great cause that heroic day.
thank you for listening to the 8th Annual 5th Grade Poetry Parade.